Okay. Strange. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, so C# is just going to be too much of a pain in the ass for me to work with in doing what it is that I want to do. So I'm just switching over to C++ immediately, just to make my life a lot easier. So one of the reasons why I wanted C# is because it has this concept of properties, right? And as an example, you could do something along the lines of, like, say, in C#, you could have something like a class thing, and then you can have a, like a, oh, let's say vector, or vect, right? So you have, you know, your public x, public double y, right? And then you can have a property like double magnitude, right? And then in here you could have get, and then this would return the math dot square root of x times x plus y times y. Good old Pythagorean theorem, right? And then you can have a set right, and you could do something like, if you wanted to set the magnitude to something directly, you know, you could either leave this blank, right? Right, or you could say something along the lines of say double n ratio, right? The ratio is equal to because, like, basically, say you have a 3, 4, 5 triangle and wanted to set its magnitude to 10, you would double everything, right? So you would take whatever the value is, and then you divide it by this dot mag, right? And then you would say this dot x times equals ratio, and then this dot y times equals ratio, right? And you can do things, like this, right? It makes it very clear as to what's going on, so that later on you can just have things like, you know, like later on you can just have things like in a void main, you can have something along the lines of vect a equal to new vect 3, 4, right? And then double B is equal to a dot mag. And you can have a dot mag equal to 10, right? And you can do things like that in a very clear and concise way. Now, unfortunately, C# doesn't really have that functionality in hand. So, but you can give C# this functionality by adding this huge block of code and as part of, you know, your stuff, right? With slightly different syntax, but what I can do is I can cut all this, go into global, and paste it all in. Right. So now here, I can just have things with properties. So that's going to be another thing that I'm going to have to add. This will be utils.h. And in here, I can say include right global.h. So now I have this functionality everywhere. Let's take a look at, and I guess I could cut that. Just as a note for ourselves. Paste that in here. Just a little note. And just to clean this up a little bit. Alright. So okay. So now we have this initialization stuff, right? Now all this is designed to have right, like all this is to just have a window launch with a OpenGL context. All right. Now I don't exactly need to have this printf statement. That's not really necessary because I know that on my system I can support GL version 4.6, which is the version that I'm going to be developing in. I feel like even though 4.6 is the newest version, all modern computers are going to have it. So unless you have a really old PC with super outdated drivers, you're going to be able to support 4.6. And this is an important feature to keep in mind, because 4.6 happens to include things like compute shaders, which is going to be a very large proponent of this engine. We're also going to have a lot of, you know, shader systems involved. We're going to have a lot of, you know, not just shaders involved, but also like not just compute shaders, but also graphical shaders. Also, if you are in the chat, say hi. I can read chat. I have a little overlay that lets me do that because Streamlabs is awesome like that. Include IO stream. I feel like IO stream is going to be such an important feature that I'm just going to include that in here. Yeah, it's going to include IO stream in global. I feel like that's going to be something that's going to be in every single source file and header file. And I like to have a lot of things, like I like having like an includes header, like a global header, which will just be what every single header file will have to include, and I won't have any includes except for the header file in each of the C++ files. This just helps separate everything a lot more clearly. So I have all my includes in my header file, and since I'm including the header file in my C++ file, I'm also including those other header files, which is nice. Right. So in utils, I will have a bunch of stuff. I'll get there at some point. Mainly, I just need to have some kind of instance, right? Because what I want to do is have, right? Because what I want here is right, is have, oh, I should also have a namespace, right? So it'd be Foxfire, I think it's that, yeah, Foxfire engine is equal to, I think I'll just do things like that. I'll have the namespace be FFE, just be faster to type, and then engine dot do game is equal to, well, okay, so what we need to figure out, like what the engine is, what the engine class is in charge of, right? So we have setup, we want to, because like there's a lot of things that the that my file structure is going to have to contend with, right? Because, right, we'll have something like in the engine, we'll have, you know, game, hello, gaming forever 65, thank you for coming in. I'm doing all right. I'm just kind of fumbling around and trying to figure out exactly what it is. I'm sorry. And just trying to figure out what it is that how I'm going to set everything up for this engine, because I'm not just making a game, I'm also making a game engine with which I'll be using to make games, and it's going to be a very iterative process. and I'll have things that'll take care of, you know, like my entity component system and things like that. All right. Thank you. I made it myself out of a bunch of free assets in the Vroid Studio, so I'll have to go in and do a lot of customization with it. Originally, being a VTuber was just a convenience and necessity, but it's starting to grow on me pretty quickly, so I'm pretty happy about it. And if you have any questions about game development, whether it's how to formulate your ideas or anything about the math or computer science aspects, feel free to speak up and ask. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. So the engine will handle like the game. Should the engine handle the game class, or should the game class be its own thing? I feel like the engine will handle things like the game, a window, and maybe like input. Have I used any other engines? Yes, I have. I've used ClickTeam Fusion is what I started with. Back in the time, it was a Macromedia Fusion. Now it's called ClickTeam Fusion. I've used Game Maker Studio. I've used Unity. I've used Unreal. I've used Unigine. And I've made a few games without an engine. So yes, I am very familiar with a number of different engines. I just kind of want to make my own engine, partly as an exercise for myself, and also to kind of teach you guys how these engines work under the hood, and to better explain the various higher level ideas in a way that is agnostic to engines. So you'll have an easier time applying the things that you learn here. Oh, and thank you for following. So you have an easier time taking what it is that you learn here and applying them to other engines. So like is something to keep in mind, is that while yes, this is going to be very nitty gritty and grindy and a lot slower paced than if I was just using I've also used what's it called, RPG Maker. I've used RPG Maker 3 on the PS2 and RPG Maker MV and the other one on the desktop. So yeah, I've used a lot of different engines, and I've looked into how they work quite a bit. I've even looked into, I've even worked with the Dark Places engine. Yeah, so this is going to be a lot of how these engines are actually, formulated and created, and in understanding how the engines work, it should be a lot easier to figure out how to use a new engine and to pick out which engines to use for different projects. So I don't think that, if you want to make a game, don't do what I'm doing. Don't make your own engine. It's not a good idea. Yes, yeah, it is a lot of engines. And I'm sure I'm forgetting 3 or 4 others that I've worked with over the years. I've been doing this for 15 years, so I'm rather experienced in this at this point. Yeah, so I think the game window should handle... Yeah, I think the engine should handle the game window and should handle input. I also feel like the engine... I have not released very many games. I've only actually semi-successful. I've shared one project with some of my friends directly with. It wasn't Dropbox. It was Mediafire. And then I have released a game called Kern. That's QRN on itch.io. Yeah, it's QR. No, it's not doing it. I think I need to go into here. Yeah, it's QRN dead air on itch.io. On itch.io. You can check that out at some point if you'd like. Actually, let's see if I can actually do a link, because I'm not sure if Twitch will let me. Let's see. Do. Yes. Oh, hey, Unlink. How's it going? Yes, Kern is free. Yes, yes, he did. He did make it before the end. Glad you can pop in and say hi. Oh, I think, yeah, it will let me do it. Yeah, that's, I'm doing alright. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. But yeah, that's a link to my game that I've released, the only game that I've actually released. I've made plenty of projects that never went anywhere, never actually released them. And many more that I've never finished. So I want the engine to handle the game window and the input. And I feel like the window should handle the window type. It is very much inspired by that kind of style. I basically implemented my own version of the Wolfenstein 3D rendering engine and did all the logic and stuff, you know, right in C#. I use C# for that, and it doesn't even use OpenGL. It's a software renderer, and it writes it pixels to a bitmap that is then displayed. Yeah, Raycast is a sorely underrated rendering algorithm. It's why I'm going to be using it later on in this series. For the final game that I'm going to be making, it's going to be a Raycaster. Yes, Wolf 3D was a software renderer, but it also didn't roll a random number every single frame for every single pixel, and used C instead of C#. So, of course, it's going to work a lot better than what I did. The window type. Yeah, I think it should just initialize the. Well, it should handle window types, because there'll be multiple types of windows. Yeah. Yeah. Doom and Wolf 3D can run on anything and everything. It's incredible. It does not take much processing power to run those games. Yeah. Hopefully my games will be able to run on anything that's relatively modern. The laptop that I'm working on is a turd basket. It is not a good PC. So let's see. Game window input. I think that should be good for the game. And then the game itself should handle specific input, specific window type. Game window, it should handle the game. Okay, yeah. Specific window type, it should handle the entity component system, because after doing a little bit of research, what I want to do is that if you buy any of the games made with this engine, you will also get a copy of the engine. And in doing so, and like, I'm not gonna like mandate, I don't really feel like mandating. I don't have the, oh hey, another follower. Gearless CH has followed, thank you. Say hi in chat, I wanna know what kind of games you like. Kern is a horror game. It's a spoopy game. I made it in 2 weeks, and I gave myself a deadline of Halloween a couple years ago, and I made it. And I made it in time, which I'm pretty proud of. So, hi. That's just talking about old school retro games, which is largely inspiring the development of this mega project. Like how the engine will work and how the rendering will work in a lot of the future titles that I will make with this particular. Oh hey, I have this. I can do this. Hi. So I'll have the ECS, the entity component system, will be handled by. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Control save, there we go. I'll have the entity component system handled by the game. Right? Oh, no. The ECS should be handled by the engine. The engine class. I saw game dev, but I'm surprised you were making a whole engine from scratch. Nice. Thank you. Yeah. A lot of the titles that I like to make are highly experimental and is a bigger headache to force a pre-existing engine to do what it is that I want it to do than it would be to just make the engine from scratch. And I also want to challenge myself and challenge my knowledge on how game engines work under the hood by making one. So that's a lot of the stuff. There's only one other thing in the area than yourself, and once you do find it, it will be undeniable that you have found it. And then your goal is to escape without dying. So also, if you DIY, you know how it works and what it can do exactly, and you also have full control over what it is that you can do, right? Anything that you want the engine to do, it can do, but you also have to make it do it. Yeah, rendering it's a big topic, and I feel like it's going to take several streams to go over the different kinds of rendering techniques, both ray-based and the classic modern, industry standard way of doing things, which is rasterizing, or triangulating then rasterizing. It's a lot. So defining entities. Well, yeah, because the entities will be piggybacking off of the components. So you'd have something along the lines of adding, because it'll be like adding a template, and then the entity class itself will have like a spawn function or something like that, right? So, and the game is going to be defined in a DLL, and at runtime. And then here will be all pre-compiled and in the exe, right? So, cross-platform DLL loading in C, Monica's. I am not too worried about cross-platform support yet. For now, I'm only aiming for Windows only. I think later on down the road, like if this whole thing becomes successful enough for me to put in the time and effort to make it happen and make it cross-platform, then I will. And I'm also not going to be supporting Macintosh for a number of reasons. Mainly because from all the research I've done, developing on Macintosh is an absolute nightmare and not even worth it. So I'm not even going to bother with Macintosh. And I feel like it shouldn't be too terribly difficult to, yeah, Metal, and not just Metal, but like not just dealing with Metal, but you have to own a Macintosh computer. And then you also have to purchase a license to publish something for Macintosh. And then you still only get like 2% of the market. So it's like literally not even worth it.
How long do you plan on streaming?
2 hours. Yeah, I'm burning daylight and I haven't done shit. So, well, I'm burning moonlight, really. But, so, yeah, it's a big thing. And also, if you have any questions, like about the kinds of math involved or computer science stuff, yeah, even though you only need a license for the App Store, it's still a pain in the neck. It's a nightmare. It's not even worth it, and that's whether you use, Unreal Engine or Unity or whatever it is that you use. It's an absolute bloody nightmare. So I need to wrap up. Yeah, so I want the engine to handle all the game window stuff. So all this boilerplate stuff of getting a window up and running. And not only that, but I'm also going to need probably going to need references to the window. Potentially, because I'm also going to have to load in shaders and all that other stuff. I would like to get a triangle being drawn, but I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be viable or not. We'll see how much I get done tonight and go from there, I guess. So let's just cut all that. Let's just make let's do private, public, private, public. I like doing this because then we have, member variables, and then here we can have your methods. Doesn't really matter, but it's fine. Because I want to have a public. Oh. I don't want all that there. I just want to cut that. It helps if I actually have a. What is it? Engine? Is this how you do a constructor? And then since I don't know, I have that. Do I need this? Not found. Well, I'm just gonna leave that out for now, because I will need a destructor. Oh, I think I'll deal with that when I can. Yeah. So again, if you have any questions about how you even make a game or a game engine, just let me know. Let's see. Inits should do an init class. Probably will destruct with when the probe runs, so no need. Probably not. I think I'll just make a destructor when I need to make a destructor. Because as soon as you start working with like pointers and things like that, that's when you really start to worry about destructors and memory cleanup and all that. Oh, it should be void. No, not void dare. Jeez. There we go. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, that's a problem. I might actually want to do do I want terminate, then exit. Yeah. Exit failure. Let's just be a little bit more verbose. Yeah. Okay. Also let me know what kinds of things that you want me to cover in this whole series, so that I know what kinds of things that I should make sure to include. Wait, what's this? Augment values or exit? Exit and abort. Expected a... Oh, helps if I do that there. Oh, I should probably do that anyway. And that goes for everyone watching. Just a little thing. So, what all do I have down here? Let's see. Normally I'd like my comments to be read, but I can't find the proper stuff, and my includes and Pragma once was too dark to read. So, if I'm going to be teaching people how to code and all that stuff, I should make sure it's readable on stream, rather than just for myself. So, yeah, and I'm doing this so that I can return whether it's a success or failure. So that, like, in here, I should be able to exit success. So that in here, I should be able to do the things that I need it to do. So I have an engine, the init, because I feel like there's potential for things to be done in different order, right? Like, I feel like there should be, like, maybe there's some other function that is like load game, and then like I might have something like engine E equals engine, right? And then I can have something like E dot load game, and then game, right? And then E dot init, right? Right. I might have something like this at some point. So I am separating the... So I'm like separating the steps of everything. And then this should all just compile and run just fine. We shall see. Let's look. Yeah, so far, yeah, everything works. Cool. So that's good. All that works just fine, which is nice. Let's see. And I only have 2 viewers, okay. I had like 4 or 5 at one point earlier. I mean, the viewer count might be a little bit off anyway. Alright, so let's see here. Okay, so we have that going. Let's see, can I check anything off of my window creation? Yeah, I can mark off the window creation. I think I've managed to successfully formalize the boilerplate. So let's see here. How much of this init method do I actually like? Alright. Because I want to have... Oh, and this is... this should all be in the namespace FFE. Yeah, it should all be namespace FFE. Which also means this is FFE. That. There we go. That's the proper way of doing things. Okay. Yeah, because DLFW terminate will free up the window. And I will have to do... Alright, because I'm going to need to have a reference to the window. Right? Yeah. Because having it all in just that area isn't gonna allow me to change much of anything. Yeah. Let's see. Do. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So I will need to have. Should it be a private? And just have getters and setters? Yeah, because the global H is. Yeah, because then I can just do that if I need to. So I think private should be. I'll do. Window. Window. And then public. Well, I mean, these are going to be kind of a little bit. These are going to behave like properties. So actually, properties. Okay. So it'll be window. So I do that. So I'll have the property window, and then I'll have the set, and then I think it's window. Alright, and then function definition from property not found. If I remember correctly, take a look here. Let's take a look over here. Yeah. It should work fine. Okay. So set window is get. Yeah. So this syntax is a little bit different. But it's still just fine. Should all compile. Let's compile it and see if it runs. See if I broke anything. No, yeah, it launched. Yeah, everything works fine. Really? feel like it should be broken. Why don't I need to, oh, because the property thinks that it is a, yeah, because the property thinks that it is, huh, huh? Hold on, my stream just did some funky wonky stuff. It says I'm still alive. Okay. What was that? 42% over the last 2 minutes? Yeah, that's not very good. I'll have to tweak all that at some point, I feel like. Okay. Back to the work. So I have the getters and setters. I have the window, engine. Let's separate this. Just so that I can find it easier. Yeah, the input stuff, all that needs to be handled, I think, separately. Yeah, this is all in the init, which means that I need to create a void run function. And in there, I'll do x the void run. Here. Yeah. Because I want the run function to handle all the pull events and everything. So that turn and I have these being guarded, or I have options to have everything guarded. It's not necessarily the case that it needs to be guarded. So we have a net. Is it failure? So in here, I'll say something like if this does not equal equals exit failure, then Heinz engine. I should make a logging class and all that at some point as well. Just because if I don't, then I feel like it'd be really bad. So now, namespace FFE. Do that first. Failed to load engine. And then it'll be right. Yeah, all this is in the while loop. Okay. Which means e dot run, and then let's just do this for now, and it should immediately launch and then close. Is what should happen. So bring that up. Say hello world. And launch it and close it immediately. Perfect. That is what we want. And then now, when we launch it, it should launch. And then it'll say hello world in 3, 2, there we go. And then launch. It says hello Twitch. Everything's all good to go. I can move it around. I can minimize. I can do that. And then I can close it. And then it does it. Cool, perfect. Alright. So that part works just fine. Okay. So we have the run function, we have, let's see. We have the init function, and then we have the what is it? The run function. Cool. Yeah, because we have the window creation in the init function. Don't have a way to set the title yet. It's also because we don't have the game engine, the game class yet. Let's fix that. Should be a pointer reference to the game class? I feel like it should. Which means I feel like I should be able to get the reference of an object, right? I feel like I should be able to pass in an object and then store the pointer to it, right? Instead of storing the object itself. I feel like might be a little bit better, because like I'm gonna have alright, because I'm gonna have class game here, right? And then member variables. private, public, and then here we have properties, privates, public, and then methods, private, public. Okay. Well, for one. Oh, I guess I don't need to have that, right? Initialize, always initialize a member variable type 6. Null pointer. Just initialize that to a null pointer. Well, I mean, I guess I could, instead of doing that here, I could just say, window goals null pointer. Right. And then that'll fix that just fine. Okay. So we want to have, yeah, this error is fine. It's not real because it's actually being handled in here. Oh, there's read-only properties and write-only properties. And there's properties. Decal spec, property, blah 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 blah. I think I want to do, oh yeah, no, that's fine. It's a little bit extra typing, but I don't care enough. I can go in and change all these differently, because it might be better to just say, oh, but that's a keyword. Yeah. Because I don't necessarily want to do decal spec everything. It's just kind of a pain. Huh?
What's your switch?
Lishka Foxfire. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I want the member variables. Have all those. Methods. Oh, someone just did a thing. Oh, hey, thank you for following me. Methods. So we'll have a game. Okay. Alright. Hey, I didn't even have to go E this stream yet. Alright. What was I doing again? Yeah, okay. Which means... okay. So STD string. And that's up for bit field. Should be in here as well. Hash include string, I think. So it goes. I'll find it out. Okay, yeah, that does work. Perfect. So standard string title. Do I want to already start using my own vectors? I might do that. Yeah, it's not great. I know one of my streams having a little bit of trouble. Yeah, I think that's another reason why I'm happy that I'm doing VTuber and programming instead of actually playing games, because I don't think we could handle streaming a game. It's definitely not a thing that it could handle. Okay. So iVect. Yes, I am putting it down on the bottom. Oh, welcome back, Gaming Forever 65. You kind of didn't miss a whole lot. It was mostly me rambling to myself. I just moved over a bunch of the like boilerplate stuff. I just moved over. Oh, also, did you find the thing in Kern? Yeah. And did you escape? Okay, let's see. Utils. iVect. iVect-2, I think, is what I'll start with. I am going to have a much more robust vector class, but for now, I'm going to yeah, and I feel like there's other ways of defining cross products. Yeah, I was working on a version that had mouse controls, and then like never finished it. Kern is actually going to be one of the games that I make in this series with this engine. So you'll get to see exactly how I managed to pull off the graphics and all that. But that's going to be later. So int, let's see, x. Oh, helps if I do private public. Oh, okay. My PC's struggling though. Okay. Helps if I tell it what kind it is. X. Int Y. So yeah, it is it is designed to be a little bit slow, to add tension when you can't afford tension. It's not a particularly difficult game, but it is a little bit reliant on skill, slightly, and faith. So, this would be private field. This is the public field. Methods. Bit public. And I guess you guys get to see some other cool stuff. Property hints X property hints Y. Oh, what? Oh, that's a minus. That's not supposed to be that way. Okay. So then we have get X. To get X, we want to return X. Oh, and then there's also the, well, I can do that after. Oh, helps if I do that. Okay. And then set X is X equals value. Then we can do get Y, return Y. And then set Y would be Y equals value. Then we can go property, and then I guess it should be a double magnitude, because there's no guarantee that the magnitude is going to be an actual, it's not going to be an integer. So now you get to see the true. Oh, how do I do square root in C++? Let's see. Roots in C++. The thing you're supposed to find is in a singular spot, and it's always in the same spot. It is a little bit borked. The detection on when you find it is a little bit borked. I'll also say that it's not immediately apparent when you find it, but when you find it, it will be immeasurably apparent that you found it. If that makes any sense. You won't see it from afar. Let me put it that way. SQRT of x times x plus y times y. Yeah, that should work. Oh, that's not helpful. get mag, and then set mag. Ooh, actually, this is a read-only property. Yeah, that is a read-only property. Because setting the magnitude for an integer-based vector does not make a lot of sense. Right? Yeah. Okay. And are these... Okay, these are integers, not unsigned integers. Okay. Hash include utils.h. Now I could have a lot of these functionalities be defined strictly in because if I define these in well, I guess a lot of the methods, I feel like a lot of the methods it would be fine. And like operator over, I feel like yes, as soon as you find it, you will need to run. And I will say it's down a long hallway. In a room at the end. A small room at the end of a long hallway is where it's at. Just to help you out a little bit. Okay, so I feel like in the header file I should do... I can declare all the properties just fine. And even have the functionality for the properties just fine. I feel like in... Oh, but I shouldn't have... In here, I shouldn't have... Oh, but this is the Foxfire... This is the main file. Oh boy. I've been a bad fox. I have not been doing this well. Okay. Oh wait, can I unstage these? Oh, all these are staged. Just gonna stage all of them. I'm in the wrong dooboo. Okay. Head source, Foxfire. Okay. Add new item. This is gonna be CCP, and this is going to be main.cpp. Add. And this is going to be the one that's going to be hash include global.h. And this one will be head h, and then this will be include. Oh wait, no, I don't need to do that because here it will be main.h. And then in here, I need to add a new item, and then here it'll be main.h. Okay, and then here it'll be include int main. Start a do. Okay. X. Oh. There we go. And then main.h. I can do that. And then here I have that. And then here it is global. And then include. Yeah, include. Okay, here we go. If that's how you're feeling, then I guess I did my job properly. Yeah, not knowing, and also the silence doesn't help. There we go. Hope. Wait, utils. Ivec. Foxfire.h. Int. Yeah. I need to. Oh. This is what happens when you don't do things properly. Woot. You're silly. I love you though. Yes, it does smell like coding. I guess. Cut and then paste. And then paste. And then save. And then. Oh, wait, is this in the wrong? God. Son of a. Okay. Do that. Oh boy. Engine. Right, engine, because this is gonna be void in it, and then this will be void run. I'm doing this so bad. I am bad programmer. FFE engine init, right? This. Declaration is incompatible. Oh yeah, it's an int. Okay. This is int. Yeah, it's a small room. You might have to like look around and move around a little bit in order to actually see it when it starts. Yeah, you'll know. Okay, that's proper, that's proper. This dot? Crap. For non-static member functions? But it's not oh. I'll do... Will that work? Okay, that works. Oh. Yeah. Then you found it. If it's growing, you found it. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, you found it. Yeah. Yeah, if your screen is fully black for too long, then you'll start taking damage, and damage is depicted by how much added noise is on the screen. You'll fade to gray, basically. The contrast drops over time as you take damage. And you are and it is intended to take at least a little bit of damage. Yeah, you see it start growing, you gotta turn around and run. Okay, so I got that. Cool. Fix that. And should have fixed that since I did a bunch of changes. Well, let's... the black is the thing to find. Because the title will change to Get Out or Run, something like that. Okay, cool, everything still works. Dope. Okay. Let's see. What else do I need to do? That's the Foxfire engine. I don't need to do much in there. I don't think I need to do a whole lot in here. Got the main .h. Probably don't need anything else in there. Utils.h. No. No, I didn't really have time. I mean, I made the whole game in 2 weeks. I didn't really have enough time to... And I'm also not the greatest artist. There are no textures in that game. Everything is rendered with math. And I didn't have time to have like a real monster or anything like that. So I had an environmental thing. So let's see. Thanks. Thank you. It's amazing what you can do in 2 weeks. So I think this is all that I really need for that. Which means that in the Foxfire engine.cpp, because it would be nice if I could well, I think yeah, because the engine will have a reference. I made it entirely in C#. There's no engine. Yeah, it is a software renderer. That's why the frame rate's like 20. It's not good. But yeah, I made it entirely in C#. There is no engine in that game. Not quite. Unity just uses C# as a scripting language, and I just straight up only used C#. But you're not entirely wrong. It's just that Unity has a lot of other stuff packed in. And I think Unity itself is written in C++. It just uses C# for scripting, because it's apparently really easy to cross-reference C# scripts into C++, which I think is pretty nice. I should do. How do I want this to work? Because I should have... yeah. Because I'll have like an init something or another where you pass in the engine for the game. Or like the engine loads in the game and does things. So that you can...
Oh, why?
What? What? I love you. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's my wife in the background. She's in the room with me. So what? Let's see. FFE class IVEC2. FFE IVEC2, I think I need to do? Yeah. Let's see here, size. Yeah. Yeah, we're terrible. 6.5 years? Six and change? Yeah, 6 and change. (2017), right? Yeah.
Oh.
We slept since then. Yeah, I think it's 2017. Let's see. Okay, so I have the title and the size. Start with that. No. No. We're not gonna have any crib midgets. They're too expensive. Having a dog is bad enough. I don't want kids. Yeah, and we don't even have a dog. I miss Vixen. I hope she's doing alright. Let's see. So I guess we could do. Cause the main thing here is setting the window, right? And I think having I mean, I'm sure I can get an apprentice someday. Doesn't need to be by blood. Yeah, because here I'd want something like game.x, game.y, or game.width, game.size.x, game.size.y. Ooh. Yeah, because I could also do some really cool things too. Wait, did I do things properly? No, I did not.
You got 9 minutes to figure out if you will.
I mean, I could push it longer.
How long?
It wouldn't be that much longer. There we go. Probably helps if I do that. Yeah, okay. Property ints width. And then no. And then int height. See here, I can do some real clever stuff. Oh, it's if I put a comma, doesn't it? And then get width. And then it would be size dot x. Should be return size dot x. And then set width. Oops, if I do a semicolon there, and then this would be size dot x equal to value. Well, I mean, I guess I could just do size.x, size.y, and then property FFEivec2. I feel like I want to rename that. I just rename? I can. There we go. That's fun. Cool. I-vec2. I-vec2. I-vec2, and then size. And then let's get and set it. Okay. Get size. Return size. Set size. Size equals value. Should work. Operative word just should. There we go. Get height. And this is return size.y. And then set height. And this is size.y equals value. Now this makes things a lot nicer in the engine, because now I have one, right, I have like one member. I have one variable. And the individual parts of that variable have multiple names, right? Because I could take a look at size directly, and I can set it directly, or I can call width and height, right? Which is really nice. Also, I think the constructor let's actually just game. Let's do std string title, then ffe I-vec2 size. Oh. So if I move that. God. You can do it. There we go. So far I think that's fine. Then here I can do right. Should be what is it? string title rank 2. It would probably be better if I declaration is incompatible with type std string. What do you mean? Huh? Yeah, here soon. I just want to get this working. Do I have to define it in there? I might have to. Because then I can say well, okay. Property. Let's do get title return title. See, title equals value. That should be good. So then I can just say dot title equals oh. Okay. Size. Let's hope that I didn't break anything. Okay, so far so good. Alright. Do that. So it means that in the Foxfire engine, window equals null pointer. I could do I think for testing I can just do this real quick. Game. Test title, and then FFE. Back 2. Wait, do I have a actual constructor? I don't have an actual constructor. y. X equals x, this, y equals y. Field. Okay. Back 2, and then this should be. Let's do 900, or let's do 800, 450. And then in here, well, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, because in the init is where it's all gonna go, right? So this should be the, well, I mean, it could be just game dot width, and this could be game dot height. And then should be half the size. So far, so good. Yep, cool. That actually works properly. How does it look on stream? Yeah, it's pretty alright. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Okay, close that. And then exit out of that. Alright. Let's see here. Let's go into Kitch. Let's stage everything. And then we could do set title. And then we can do set size. Done some more. I've also started utils. It is always in that. Yeah, because I've already set up the engine class. I've even started the game class too? Yeah. Set up game class. Okay, so I've set up the game class. I have the size. I have the title. Okay. I think I've actually done all my stream goals. Cool. Let's commit. Let's push. Cool. So, I think that'll be it for the stream. I got a lot done, but also basically nothing. But such is the way of game engine development. So I will leave it here. Next time I'll just work more towards the boilerplate stuff. The things necessary to get everything working. So yeah, I guess I'll end the stream here. Thank you guys so much for sticking by and watching and all of that, and thank you to the few new followers that I got. It's awesome. Tell your friends, tell other people online that you know, whatever it may be. Yeah.